there, beloved Ascension pioneers, and welcome to another one of my videos that focus around how to live in the new through every aspect of our being. Last week I already shared with you a video that talks about light language, singing your own songs, chanting your melodies, opening up to the higher dimensional frequencies to tune into the higher aspects of you and bring them down and focus on the embodiment here on earth. In this video segment, I want to, besides that exercise which I already gave you, I want to focus on what is the meaning of this and kind of like why we do that and why it's important that in the new we work more with the sound, with toning, with humming, with everything that is available to us vibrationally, because when we move into the path of higher ascension and the ascending reality, we're all building from within to without, we kind of encounter upon these ancient healing methods that had a lot to do with the color, sound, frequency, symbol, sacred geometry, and not just learning about them how we did in the old and we knew that these existed, but we literally implement them. So let's take an example. You work with the symbols and you add color to them, because these are not separate aspects. That is important to know first. So let's say you work with the symbols and you draw symbols and you add color to them. For example, you're guided to draw them in different colors. When you tone, you focus on each segment of your chakric system, or you focus on different particular soul essences and how to move the energy through. You can again visualize certain symbols like hearts, diamond shapes, circles, spirals. You add them a color that you're guided to work with, and then you bring that humming sound, vibration, the frequency of your soul through. Also, it's important that we understand the meaning of different vibrational ratios and aspects, like higher tones like he, and all of those. They will have a higher vibrational frequency. This means that they will be focusing on higher aspects of our being. But these are not the only important ones, because a lot of us forget that we also need the grounding cord, the grounded essence, the Mother Earth, and these are lower tones usually, like Om. Om is actually the sacred language, the all sounds of all creation, of abundance and blessings of everything, of all life in creation, and to bring through the divine. And you can actually chant it in many different ways and through many different sound aspects, but it also has a very deep feeling to it. But also, there's other tones that are very earth-based, and these will get the frequency more stable in the body as well. You can do your own research, because there's a lot of those different sounds and toning that you can do. For example, there's certain mantras, there's divine decrees that you can say and you can sing them, and you can add more vocal aspect to it, because a lot of times we just say decrees. In the old, we were doing a lot of intention through that, but now we're focusing in the more refined levels of our being, which has to do with this. So last week, or was it this weekend, I was watching this segment of the videos that talked about opening and activating the third eye and then decalcifying the pineal gland. These are connected. And when you do this certain chants, you can pick your own ones. This is, it's random, but at the same time it's not. It's guided from your soul. So when you focus on that, you'll be feeling different sensations and buzzing in your head area, but it's not just the head area. You will feel your whole body vibrating. So if you were doing the exercises that I recommended in my previous video about light language and the sacred sound, and the properties that brings to our life in new ascending reality, you already had a bit of feeling and sensing into it, but now we can go deeper into it and feel why this is so important for us. So let's say that the first aspect is to be aware of the nature of the sound, which builds all creation. First there was sound, and then you can see there's color, there's tone, and we all, in our individual soul level, we have a unique frequency, unique toning. That's why I was sharing with you that light language will be different for each and every one of us. When you listen to others doing it, there's not like this language is light language, period. It might be on their level of soul awareness, but for you and through you, it will come differently and more naturally for you. So don't be so much focused on how it comes through others. Focus on rather what comes through with your soul awareness through you. This is the first aspect of understanding the importance of sound, tone, vibration, color, all of that, because it's all vibration. On our soul journey, we might be really guided to utilize it in a different way. Art is also playing a very important part. Like I shared, I do vibrational artwork, and this is how my soul expresses itself in higher levels and dimensions. Before, it was more writing and speaking. Now, this is a more refined level of me, a more higher pitched tuning fork. Let's call it like that. Also, the second part that is really important to address is the balance, like I said, between the higher tones, like he, e, and all of those, and the ho, and the tho, and all of those that are more earthly based, and there's many you can do. Om is very much about neutrality, I feel, between both, because you can chant it either way, and you can make it very long, you can expand the range. And it's like the middle point, the grounding anchor between all of those. And there are different chants that will then hold the uniqueness of the range of the spectrum that you yourself will vibrationally need at that time. So your soul will naturally guide you to tune into that frequency. So I recommend that you don't just make a list of those chants or humming sounds or, intention-based mantras, decrees, and then you go through them like randomly, like you might have done in the old. I'm going to chant all of those one by one in the, in such and such repetitive ways. It is important that you do it soul-based, through soul guidance. And if you are very much in the beginning of the journey and you still need lots of purification and decalcification of the pineal gland and a lot of inner work to kind of tune into your soul, to make adjustments in your physical body, you might be guided to do this more. A lot of us who are already living in the light, that means eating in the light, speaking consciously, not creating a lot of junk energy around us. We don't need to do that so often, so we do it only when we're guided, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, it doesn't matter, but we do it when we're guided. At the beginning, maybe it takes more conscious devotion, and then it just becomes a natural, spontaneous flow. So maybe in the beginning, you will be asked and guided to do like a list of those chants, and you're kind of be tuning into them. But the third aspect I feel is really important is how you feel after you chant, after you tone, after you speak that light language. Like I've shared in the previous video, if it makes you feel empty, if it's no frequency behind it, it's something that's just not coming through the soul. When it is soul-based, you will vibrate. All of you will vibrate. You won't just have certain sensations, and maybe at the beginning it will start like that, because it depends how open your channels are. When you're working with Ka, that is your higher self, it will take, maybe at the beginning, like I said, more conscious devotion to progress and to build your stamina, your inner stamina towards it. But then it will keep amplifying, and it will be greater and greater and greater. So the third aspect is to kind of tune into through your own heart resonance to see what really has that feeling and what are the sensations, to observe them. Maybe in the beginning, even write them down. This chanting this or toning this makes me feel like this or like that. But then those of us who are really already so naturally tuning into that on the physical level as well, and spirit level, it is natural for all of us. But those of us who have done a proper work of embodiment, it's very much natural to us. So when we're receiving this guidance now, it feels like we're just remembering, and we're bringing it forth in a very natural way. It doesn't take a lot of work, it's not forced. It's just, it comes naturally, like I said, through soul guidance in the moment. So I've also shared with you, and I put that tiny segment of the song in the previous video where I did a shore light activation, and then I received beautiful confirmation and actually feedback from a divine companion. It was not just one. And it was really interesting because they asked me what's the name of the composer and the artist, the title, and I said, well, it was funny because it was me, it was my soul song. And I was thinking, really, what's it called? And then Spirit just shared with me, but that's your song, that is called Araya Song. And this is how guidance comes, progression, natural flow. It will be very much simple. So after that, I just realized, that's how it's called, because it keeps playing inside. And instead of putting that short segment of the singing of the birds towards the end of my videos, I now decided to put that segment in, because that is my own unique soul song of my home, of the divine creation particle, of the uniqueness that I am as an individualized spark, as a soul essence. So a lot of people were saying, that's beautiful, what is that? And other people knew that it was me. So it's one aspect that started come, through me was not just toning and humming, because on that level, when you're more soul-based, just completely soul-guided, you will naturally flow through your own soul. So what the soul will be singing through you. And it might surprise you because you might discover your own soul song. Remember, we each have a moment in the time-space continuum, the infinity space within the eternity that is in the middle point, that we're always eternal. We're also infinite. So in that infinity point, you have a uniqueness of birth, and that is your soul signature, the individualization of your soul spark within the source of all. You are source. You're not separate. Remember, a lot of people say, God loves you. Well, we are that part of God. So it's not a separate entity loving us. So through this, when you channel your own song, randomly, not even thinking about it, like in the beginning of this shifting process on this new earth-based reality that really started strongly last year, a lot of us were receiving our new life names, and we were seeing visions of our higher selves and the master level we were moving towards an embodiment. And now we're really getting towards the sound and light language and the aspect of color. We each have a very unique aspect of it, and a lot of people want others to channel that for them. Well, we have that gift, but I would really advise you, if you're that advanced in your progression, that you start working with that yourself. Maybe you will at the beginning ask for some more guidance on that, maybe somebody who has already done that work, and it has to be through purity, not the mind. And it's when the divine mind and heart meet, and they open to that receptive center where everything can really start flowing through your soul. So that individualization and that soul song will give you a lot of information through the channels that are not linear. It will be as though your soul remembers something and you're bringing it forth into embodiment. So also, as you know, we all have a twin soul-based polarity nature of our divine source spark. We have the divine feminine and divine masculine essences both existing as one. They're not separate. They're like the yin and yang representation, which means that the seed of the feminine is also in the masculine, and the seed of the masculine is also in the feminine, so they're both one. And they're sharing this beautifully perfect shaped bubble of divine love, that source created divine spark, individualized essence that we are. So in that, I will share that this song, this sound, the first sound comes through. When we start the incarnation process, or the process that we move, it doesn't have to be physical incarnation. It might just be sort of experiencing on a different level that's not fully being a source. We become individualized, and we start living those expressions through different experiences. So I'm going to share why this is so important, because when I just, realized that this is my own soul song, and this is kind of like my calling, my home calling, and a lot of people were even saying it reminds me of a feeling of home. It is so, one divine companion who shared that feedback also said to me that they've written divine poetry after listening to that, and I didn't even know it would have such a profound effect. So you all have the same. And it's a matter of how and when, and in divine timing it comes through you. And I want to share why it is so important that this balanced aspect also comes through, because we are all a twin soul essence. So I was at the beach this weekend, and my song kept playing inside my head, and then I said, okay, now I want my divine counterpart to sing that part. I want both polarities, because my song is very high-pitched. So I realized that something else needs to come through. And again, when it will be that repetitive as the first song, when it will be that beautifully flowing and I won't forget it in my mind, that will be really coming from the divine heart, from the higher heart space here. So it will be coming through the higher channels, and it will anchor here. It will ground itself through the chord of the higher heart. And the melody came through and it stayed. So I want to show you the example before wrapping this up, how these songs, and you can listen to them. I'm going to start to penetrate through my shyness here. I'm going to try to move to the next level of experience. And I want to give you the examples of the two. They're both one, okay? There's no separation between them. But one is more a female expression within that bubble of love, and one is more like, not a female, a feminine expression, and the other one is more masculine expression within the divinity of all. So the Aurea aspect, this is the divine feminine aspect, which you've already heard, goes something like this. I hope I can remember, because now both songs are playing in my mind at the same time, and sometimes it's really hard to focus on. Okay, that is the Aurea, the divine feminine aspect. Getting a bit shy, but it's okay. I'm breaking through, I'm moving energy through. And the other aspect is the divine masculine aspect, which I call the Orion. And it goes like this. You will see, you'll probably notice the difference in intonation, the higher, lower. Okay, this is why I'm showing you that. Like this, okay? I won't continue. I think you get the picture by now that these hold a different frequency, but yet they're all one. You can see there's the same chord flowing through them. There's the same type of melodic essence coming through them. So this is what Spirit shared with me, and I invite you to kind of really implement that. This is the most important aspect probably in the new, because the sound raises our frequency, because we are pure sound, and then everything starts to materialize and densify more and more. And when we will do that, it's important that we focus on both the lower frequencies, the higher aspects, because they're not lower higher in terms of separation. They're both coexisting at the same time. Like I've said, the chant has you can chant it either very high or very low. And usually I do it in the middle, because it's like the balance point of everything, you know, the neutrality point, the absolute. And there's so many to choose from. You have ooh, ha, hoo, he, he, all of these. Try tuning into them, you know. One of them that's really good is for all of the chakras. It's very simple. It's just chanting ooh. And when you're chanting ooh and visualizing different chakric aspects and all being purified by the light, and you can visualize the light going through and building a rainbow column of light that, you know, adds up as white, the white light of creation, then you can really see the effect beautifully. You will just literally start vibrating, and you will also feel not just physical sensations, but your inner sensations will change. When you do toning, when you do humming, especially when you do your own soul singing, you will feel like that blissful energy stayed. And you will walk further into your soul expansion. And you might think, well, I'm doing just chanting some sounds, you know, I'm just raising the frequency of the whole, but you're actually raising your own. You're raising the frequency level of your body, and you know the body is the one that is physically ascending. So when the body has the ability to hold more light, then you will become lighter. So you're actually transforming yourself. This is soul alchemy, and soul alchemy is based on these elements and principles. So do your own exercise. I'm not going to give you all the answers here. You have the World Wide Web. You have lots of exploration. A lot of these chants are beautifully explained in Stuart Pearce, his cards. One of them are Angels of Atlantis. The other ones are the Heart Sigils. These both implement the symbols, the angels, and the chanting sounds. So I did a soul reading, a spirit guidance for everybody this week with these cards. You can tune into that, check that out. And for more information, always, your soul knows. And yeah, there's my buzzard bird up there, greeting us all. And I'll see you in the next segment. Whatever, whenever. See you soon. So much love. Bye. I wanted to share something else with you, beloved ones. You probably heard already that whenever you see stones that actually kind of growing in circle, there's always like the sacred energy present. Either it's the elemental kingdom is very focused here. You have, I feel very much elven energy, and this is the place that I shared in my previous video on elven singing, which was here. And you can see all the way up. There's rocks, nothing but rocks, and hill. And this is very important. So whenever you go on your hikes, on your nature escapades, when you will feel a certain special energy, when you will just see, you see, circle. So whenever you see that, you yourself can sit in the middle of that sacred space, and you can almost see like a spiral forming. So you sit there in the middle and open yourself up, do some chanting, some toning, some singing, light language, whatever comes through, it will be natural. So if you manage to find such a spot, it's even more perfect for this. So I hope you enjoy this and enjoy uncovering your own sacred territories. Bye-bye.